4, 3, 2, 1.
Hello and welcome to TrojanVision's The Week That Was, covering the news and events for the week ending Friday, February 21st, 2020. I'm your host, Aaron Taylor. This past weekend, Troy University's Hull School of Journalism students traveled to Hattiesburg, Mississippi for the annual Southeastern Journalism Conference and came home with 11 awards in the Best of the South competition and 2 top awards in the SEJC on-site competition. One of the top awards for Troy TrojanVision was Brady Talbert's first place finish in the on-site competition for TV news reporting. Here's the story that won him first place.
If you didn't know better, you might say that Friday was like any other day at the University of Southern Mississippi Theater and Dance Department, but these performers are a little younger, as USM welcomes students from 4 local high schools to learn about dance.
We are giving our kids in the community a chance to experience the arts that we offer here at the school, in the School of Performing and Visual Arts, so that they can experience the arts and not just witness them or go to a gallery or see a performance, but actually participate. So they're doing step right now, and they're doing quite well.
The Dance a Masterclass event took students out of their comfort shell, and while some struggled at first,
it was a bunch of stopping and clapping, and there was a lot.
Students left it all out on the dance floor.
But it was pretty fun.
STEP serves as a means of self-expression for many traditionally African-American fraternities and sororities on campus, and in the midst of Black History Month, the Ladies of One Greek organization used the dance style to unify a room of diverse participants.
From an outside perspective, it may just look like steps and stomps. Members of Delta Sigma Theta sorority say it helps them display their history.
It was just great to be able to give them a different part of Black history versus the same things that we hear. So I think that was a great positive way to, introduce this to high school students. It was something they could do, interact, and not feel uncomfortable. And everybody is on the same level. They could do the same things and not feel, like they're imposing on something that they're not a part of. So I think that it was very important that this happened today.
Now, if you want in on the action, the university says it'll be hosting a family theater and dance day this Monday. Brady Talbert, Troy, TrojanVision News.
There are many students who come to college without knowing what their career path may be. And for those students, Troy University held an event Wednesday to shine the light on the possible majors the school offers. Aaron Dixon has the story.
Not every college student comes into college knowing what they want to do. So Career Services helped these students on Wednesday when they held a major exploration fair in the Trojan Center ballrooms.
So Major Exploration Fair is an event mostly for our freshmen and our sophomores, but also our juniors if they're kind of second guessing their major. And basically it just exists for you to come in, figure out what all your options are for majors, talk with some faculty, talk through career expectations and classes that you'll have to take.
The Major Exploration Fair gave people the opportunity to meet with professors one-on-one and also sent students home with a lot of information to read over.
To get a lot of information, not very often do you get to one-on-one sit down with some departmental faculty and talk through what the classes are, what to expect from those classes, and they could even give you career advice for even after you graduate.
Career Services is striving to get all students to find at least 4 majors that interest them, and then from those 4 narrowing it down to 1 major they feel comfortable with, and then from there they will be entered into a raffle.
To keep students from second guessing their major, we want them to feel confident. We don't want them to have to switch around to different majors. We want them to know what major they want to go into and feel confident in that so that they can enjoy it and they can kind of plan for their career afterwards.
All 5 academic colleges were in attendance, and Davis says without the faculty, this all wouldn't have been possible.
We could not be here if we didn't have 100% of the supportive faculty showing up and advertising their departments and being willing to talk to students. So the main thing is just connecting with faculty and them agreeing to come here and support us.
Career Services still has 2 career fairs planned for the semester, along with a career closet which will take place after spring break. Aaron Dixon, Troy, TrojanVision News.
The history of the Confederacy is a popular in this part of the country. However, there are some facts that people get wrong about the Civil War, and one of those Confederate fallacies was the focus of a lecture given Thursday night on campus. Natalie Ledbetter has the story.
In honor of Black History Month, Kevin Levin, author of Searching for Black Confederates, came to Troy's campus last night to speak to students and faculty about debunking the myths of Black Confederate soldiers in the Civil War.
The Civil War is a hot topic in schools. People are, in general, very interested in it. And a lot of people I've come across over the years have definitely fallen for this myth of Black Confederate soldiers. And so to be able to sort of publish a book that might help people better understand both how the myth has evolved, but also the roles of African Americans in the Civil War is very rewarding.
Levin has always had an interest in how people perceive parts of history, and last night he drew on how some perceptions of the Civil War are incorrect.
I've always been interested in memories. I've always been interested not so much in what happened, I'm interested in that, but I'm also interested in sort of how we remember what happened. So the stories that we tell ourselves about the past, the myths that we create to give us in the present a sense of identity. I've always been interested in that, and the Civil War is just filled with myths, way too many myths.
Levin hopes that people begin to learn to question what they read on the internet, especially when it comes to posts involving history.
Be very, very critical of how we use the internet, because a lot of these myths get spread and live on the internet. They spread because anyone, of course, can publish anything these days on the internet, and a lot of people, who search the internet uncritically end up on websites that perhaps they would be better off not looking at, but because they don't know any better, they end up taking seriously and believing what they're reading. And again, in the case of the Civil War, that can be really problematic.
Natalie Ledbetter, Troy, TrojanVision News.
All this month, Troy University's Trojan Outreach is focusing on informing students about safe sex practices, and this week the group showed students they shouldn't take their chances with unprotected sex. Brianna Shackelford explains.
Trojan Outreach wants to help inform Troy students about their own sexual health. One way they are doing that is by having students spin a wheel. Students can come out to Bib Graves Quad to spin the wheel, where they can learn how to better protect themselves from STDs and STIs.
Today we have the Wheel of Reality. Well, basically we got the students who come in, they can spin the wheel, and whenever number it land on, we tell them a scenario. And scenarios are based on people having unprotected sex. So we're trying to educate our students and empower them to the importance of using condoms and safe sex.
Statistics show that 1 in 2 sexually active people will develop an STI by the time they are 25. So the main goal of today's event is not only to inform, but to make sure students have what they need to better protect themselves.
So today we are passing out condoms along with our Wheel of Reality, and we are super excited because this time we have non-latex condoms, extra large condoms, and then just the regular plain latex condoms, so that we have a variety in case students have different needs in regards to condoms.
Wednesday's event is part of a month-long effort by Trojan Outreach to help teach Troy students about healthy sexual relationships. Brianna Shackelford, Troy, TrojanVision News.
We'll take a short break. When we return, we'll get a preview of this weekend's theater and dance performance live. Stay tuned, we'll be right back.
Mom, can we get some ice cream? Please, Mom, please.
No, we're having dinner soon.
Please.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of children in foster care who will take you just as you are.
Troy's International Arts Center gives visitors a taste of China anytime they walk in with the work of artist Hu Baozhu on permanent display. However, a temporary exhibit on display is giving visitors a glimpse of the landscapes of China. Brianna Shackelford has the story.
The work of Chinese artist Qinghao Li is currently on display in Troy's International Arts Center. The watercolor paintings were brought to Troy for exhibition due to the artist's past relationship with the school.
I am so glad to have a painting exhibition here, and this is my third time to be in Troy. I worked in Troy, so I have very strong feelings toward Troy, and I see a lot of changes in Troy. There are so many little buildings all around. It makes me feel very excited to see all those new things.
Lee says his artwork shows off 3 distinct areas in China that mean a lot to him as an artist.
My paintings has been divided into 3 parts. First is Tibet, and then is the north part of China, and the third one is the south part of China. So I went to Tibet a long time ago, and I love it. And the scenery are so beautiful, and it inspired me to keep all those recorded in my printings. And then I lived and born in north part of China, so I have strong feeling for the north part of China, so I wanted them in my pictures too. And since I was teaching so many years, I also bring my students to the southern part of China.
The exhibit will only be on display in Troy for a few more days, and then it will move to the Rosa Parks Museum on Troy's Montgomery campus. Lee hopes American viewers will be able to learn more about China through his work.
So I just want to inspire everyone to fall in love with watercolor printing, because they are really so beautiful. When the printings from here moved to Montgomery, some of them like other in people's from all kinds of works. So we want them to view my printings from their perspective. Maybe they get to know China.
When you go to a club with the intention of dancing, you usually expect the music to be loud and booming. But what would you do if you walked into the club and everyone was dancing, but there was no music? Well, that happened Wednesday night on campus. Claudia Peppenhorst shows us why.
What's better than a party? A party where you get to choose your own music to listen to. Campus organization Freshman Forum put on a silent disco Wednesday night for Troy University students looking for a little fun.
Tonight we're having a little silent disco, and if you don't know what that is, basically these headphones are connected. We have 2 to 3 DJs, and you can put these headphones on and change the channels, and you can just like listen to different music. Like I could be on the blue station or click it and it could go to the red, and like different songs could be playing.
While it may seem a bit silent for a disco, everyone here is having their own personal party in their headphones.
It's kind of cool because you come in and it's silent and you're like, what the heck's going on? Then you put on the headphones, you're like, okay, like I hear everything.
Freshman Forum puts on several events throughout the school year. Their goal is to get students involved on campus and a chance for them to meet other people. Silent Disco did just that.
One of the purposes of the Campus Life Committee is to make sure that they're providing entertainment for students on campus. A silent disco is something that happens during Welcome Week, but other than that, it's not really an opportunity for students. We just knew that it would be a fun, different event for students to do on a random Wednesday night.
Freshman Forum's next campus event is Hoop Coming on March 3rd in Trojan Arena. It will give university organizations an opportunity to raise money for their philanthropy and watch some basketball. Claudia Peppenhorst, Troy, TrojanVision News.
Well, if you like your dancing with some audible music, then you'll want to hit the Trojan Center Theater this weekend for the latest production from Theater and Dance. Sam Granville gives us a preview of the show.
The Troy University Dance Program spent Tuesday night making its final preparations for their first concert of the spring semester. There's been much hype surrounding the concert, and for those waiting to see it live, can have a first taste of the show called Vibe on Thursday night.
This is our show called Vibe. It's directed by James Boyd, and it's going to be very versatile. We have classical, we have modern, we have very urban style movement. and it's very, just versatile.
It's just going to be a really fun, interesting, diverse show. All the choreographers had to pick a certain color and a symbol for each piece, so that's kind of tied in. And also all the pieces run completely together. There's no stops or no breaks, so all you see is dancing the whole entire time.
The fast-paced performance is set to only last about 2 hours and combines a wide range of music, styles, and themes that, like many other arts, leave its true meaning open to one's own interpretation.
This is, I think, for people who don't dance or not familiar with dance, I think this is a really good show to come to, considering it is so short and it is so fun. It has the live music, and it's not as structured as a dance concert as you would see in the professional world. This is a lot more fun and more interactive, and so I think that for people who don't know a lot about dance, this is a good one to come to for sure.
Vibe will take place in the Trojan Center Performing Arts Theater, and within the show's 7 acts, there will be a fun or relatable piece for all ages.
I think anyone of any age will enjoy this show. There will be definitely at least one piece that you're going to like and that you're just going to remember for the rest of the night.
The concert will premiere Thursday night at 7 p.m. and play at the same times on Friday and Saturday night. The final time to see Vibe will be Sunday afternoon at 2:30. Sam Granville, Troy, TrojanVision News.
We're going to take another quick break. When we come back, we'll look at a historic week for Trojan baseball. That's coming up right after this, so stay tuned.
At Troy University, we offer military students more than just flexibility and convenience. We offer top-ranked programs that are an investment in your future. And like the military, you'll be part of something. A powerful network of more than 158,000 alumni worldwide. And we will be with you all the way. Proudly serving our military since 1950. Trojan Warriors, one and all.
It's a beautiful day out here. Sunny today with light breezes, giving way to clouds in the afternoon. We could see some light precipitation to moderate precipitation later on, followed by powerful storm-like conditions. 90 miles per hour winds are expected. Authorities are asking everyone, stay indoors. Come on, that's it. Let's go.
The Trojan baseball team kicked off their season in historic fashion, scoring the most runs in a 4-game series in school history with 67 against Northern Kentucky in their opening weekend. Stuart Bradley has the highlights from the final game in the series that helped Troy lead the nation in offense.
If you think an early 4-0 deficit is a big deal, you did not watch the same Trojan baseball. After clinching the series against Northern Kentucky with 3 straight games of 10-plus runs, Sunday's series finale was a slugfest. After getting down 4-0 in the top of the first, the Trojans answered back immediately with an Easton Kirk 3-run double, Kyle Mock sac fly, and a Will Sullivan RBI single, his first of 5 hits on the game.
We got off to a slow start. They jumped out 4-0. We responded. They took the lead back. I was really proud of our team for kind of staying after it.
Defensively was a little, the field was wet, a little shaky, ball was slippery, but we got together, regrouped, stayed short with our swings.
This 1-run lead would be quickly squashed as Northern Kentucky put 4 more runs on the board in the top of the second. And while the Trojans didn't answer back immediately, they came back hard. An Austin Garfalo 2-run blast would regain the lead for the Trojans and will be followed by a Drew Frederick homer just 2 batters later. Putting a cherry on top would be another one of Will Sullivan's 4 doubles, driving in 3 more of his 5 total RBIs. Add on 4 more runs in the 7th and 1 in the 8th, and the Trojans would be victorious by a score of 20-11.
So far, so good. I was, again, pleased with our ability to fight back in the game twice. We hadn't had that come up the first 3 games, and so I was really pleased to see the type of attitude our team had. We never got down. We kept playing well. And then when we got the lead, I thought we played better, and we really finished the game strong.
It's the mentality that everyone has in our team that we're not going to back down no matter what the situation or the score of the game. We're going to go out there and play our game.
Pitching-wise, Marquez Oates was given the win for his 2 1/3 innings of work, where he recorded 4 strikeouts. Catcher Caleb Bartlera would finish his first series as starting catcher with a 2-for-4 performance with an RBI. That RBI was one of 67 in the first 4 games, being the most runs scored in the first 4 games in school history.
All these guys, this is the first weekend. We'll learn a lot more as we go. Don't know enough about our team yet to have the full answers, but really pleased with how we started this weekend.
Stuart Bradley, Troy, TrojanVision Sports.
And the Trojan offense kept right on rolling on Wednesday as the team put up another double-digit performance to keep their spot atop the offensive standings. Stuart Bradley has the highlights from Wednesday's matchup against Jackson State.
A downpour of rain was not going to stop Troy and Jackson State from battling it out on the diamond Wednesday night. After getting their first run via a balk in the first inning, the Trojan bats remained silent while JSU jumped on Dalton Wilder in the third, scoring 5 runs in the inning. It wasn't until an inning later where a Logan Cerny home run gave the offense a much-needed spark.
We were down 5-1 in the 4th inning. We had not hit a ball hard really the whole game. Leading off that inning with a homer, it really seemed to lift our club up, gave us a little momentum. We ended up scoring 2 more in the inning, and then all of a sudden we started to swing the bat exceptionally well.
A now dented JSU lead and the bullpen keeping JSU's hitters at bay allowed Troy to battle back. Will Sullivan would smash a 2 RBI double on a 3-2 count to take a 6-5 lead in the 5th inning. Then a hitless Caleb Bartolero would break through with an RBI double in the 6th, and then a 2 RBI double in the 7th, which followed up a Dalton Sigfield 2 RBI double, which more than doubled the Trojans' lead.
Our lineup 1 through 9 is really good. Not a lot of easy outs in the lineup. They're tough to pitch to. They did a good job early in the game of getting us off balance. We made some adjustments, and we really swung the bat well the last 5 innings.
Now with extensive run support, Lance Johnson and Tyson Ellis would pitch the final 3 innings to help secure a 14-5 victory. And while the offense picked themselves up for the second half of the game, the key to the game were the 6 relief pitchers that kept JSU scoreless for 6 innings.
Matt Snell did a great job coming out of the bullpen in the 3rd inning, got us out of that inning. Pitched well in the 4th inning, and then we had decided from that point we were going to try to go an inning at a time until we could get to Lance Johnson in the 7th or the 8th. But Ryan Fultz did a great job 1, 2, 3 inning. DJ Wilkinson did a nice job, struck a couple guys out to get out of trouble. And then Lance came in and inherited a tough situation and did a really nice job navigating that. He was sharp in the 8th. And then Tyson pitched around a little bit of damage in the 9th and was able to score it. So we talk about 14 runs and homers and doubles, but we won the game on the mound tonight.
Leading the nation in doubles and tied for the most runs per game, Troy prepares for a weekend series versus Louisiana Tech.
It's time for our last break. When we return, we'll learn why a group of Troy students are walking to Panama City for spring break. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
You might start on a Troy campus or at your kitchen table. Wherever you start, you'll be more than a student. You'll be part of the Troy family, armed with the education, values, and skills you need to succeed. Ready to lead today's global workforce. No challenge will feel impossible. No dream will be out of reach, because we will be with you all the way. Trojan Warriors, one and all.
The Brothers of Alpha Tau Omega will walk to Panama City Beach during spring break for the annual Walk Hard fundraiser. We'll learn more about their efforts in this week's Trojan Talk. Hello and welcome to Trojan Talk. I'm your host, Aaron Taylor. With me today is Fate Calton with Alpha Tau Omega Fraternity here to tell us about Walk Hard.
Yes.
Thanks for joining us here today.
Thank you for having me.
And Walk Hard, it's become a major event every year, a big fundraiser. But for the folks at home who are uninitiated and the few that haven't heard about this, if you've been around here, you know, tell us about Walk Hard and what's it all about.
Yeah, so Walk Hard is ATO's signature philanthropy event we hold each year. It's a 128.3 mile walk. We start at the quad here at Troy University and we walk all the way to Pier Park in Panama City Beach, Florida. It takes 6 days total. We do it in support of Jeep Sullivan's Outdoor Adventures. And what Jeep does is he takes local wounded warriors in the area out on any like hunting, fishing excursions, really anything outdoors that kind of gets them back out outside, just for them to enjoy themselves.
Now, as college students, there's an easier way to get to Panama City over here, right?
Driving.
So, to drive it. But tell us about why this takes place and why it's significant for you all to make this walk every year?
You know, one big thing that we hold ourselves on, and we tell the guys each year that walk, you know, is that this is bigger than you, this is bigger than the fraternity, this is bigger than almost anything you'll ever do in your life. You know, it takes 6 days, and you know, we're so tired and we're hurting by the end, but it's just a little smidge of just what these veterans are going through on a day-to-day basis, and it's just a little bit we can do to pay our respects for how much they have given us to live in this country that we live in.
And you've walked.
Yes.
2 years ago, you walked as a freshman.
As a freshman.
So tell us about your experience and how you felt going through this ordeal.
You know, it really opened my eyes to not only our wounded warriors, but just the things Jeep does for these guys. You know, each night we'll have a wounded warrior that works with Jeep come down and speak to us, and you know, he'll give us his story, his testimony, and it, you know, really shows like what we're doing matters, and it, you know, it really hits home.
And talking about that, you know, we talk about you walk down there, it takes 6 days, because you do take breaks. It's not like you walk all the way straight through, but you do have these moments each night. There's these opportunities to stop, and you hear from these individuals that you're helping. And I know that's got to be comforting when your feet are aching, you got blisters, you're sore, you're tired.
Yeah. One of the biggest things I used to tell myself, you know, each day after the night before one of the guys would speak is I'd be walking, I'd be hurting, I'd be in my head saying, oh man, I want to quit. It's so easy to quit right now. And then I'd think about what the guy with the warrior had said the night before. And, you know, about how, you know, you can't quit, and, you know, the pain that he's going through is really for the rest of his life, and mine's only temporary. You know, I'm only getting that little bit of what he's going through, and I've got to do this for him.
You get through, and then you get to hit Panama City, and that's always one of the cool things. I love to see the video. I love to see you guys make that run into the water. And there we go. We're taking a look at one of the shots right there, walking in. This is probably the big thing I know. For the walker, this is probably one of the best moments right there.
Definitely. This is actually my year walking in, and I cried. I'll tell you that. I'll be honest, I cried because not only that it was over, but just seeing the amount of support from the community coming down and just welcoming us in, you know, it was just a big relief just knowing that everybody in Troy and then all our friends and family had our backs during this.
And of course, this is a fundraiser. So let's talk about that element because you're raising money. How can people help out with this fundraising effort?
Yeah, so the best way to donate is to visit our Facebook page at ATO Walk Hard. There's a link to our crowd change. It's kind of like a GoFundMe, but it caters and it helps us a little bit more. You can donate through that. There's also, we post links each day of all the walkers and their little bio and, you know, a little story on why they're talking. So if any one of those, you know, really hits home with you, we have their link to their individual page that if you would like to donate to their individual page, you can.
And of course, the opportunity to get involved and take part in this and raise money because you raise a lot of money.
Yes.
And every year that number has increased in dramatic fashion. And last year, how much did you end up raising?
$73,000.
$73,000 based off of a $60,000 goal.
Yes.
So you surpassed it by $13,000. That's a lot of money. And I know I've been following along with this for many years, and that goal has gone up every year, and the amount you raise has gone up every year. So tell me now, has the goal gone up again this year?
It has. The goal is $65,000 this year. You know, we hope to hit that or even exceed it. You know, we've been very blessed over the past couple of years of exceeding our goal, so we're hoping for the same this year.
And to be able to, and what does that mean for the brothers to be able to hoist that check at the end and that number to be so big? Because it really is surprising to see an effort by a bunch of college kids basically raise that much money.
Yeah, it's definitely a gratifying moment knowing all that hard work you've put in over the past several months paid off, you know, to go towards these veterans.
And you get the chance to see those veterans, you get to talk to Jeep, and you get to see what, and a lot of them end up being there. As like a matter of fact, one of them was walking with you guys on the video that we saw there, going into the park. But having that opportunity to raise money and for a good cause and worth all the pain and the effort. And once again, if someone wants to donate, what can they do?
Go to our Facebook page, Alpha Tau Omega, and we have a crowd change link on there, which will take you to our fundraising page.
All right, and when y'all heading up for the walk?
So March 6th, 8 a.m. sharp, the guys will be leaving the quad, and they'll begin their walk and journey right there. And then March the 11th, we'll be walking into Pier Park around 3 or 4 that afternoon.
So if anybody's down for spring break, they can come over and check you guys out.
Definitely.
All right, well, good luck with this year's walk, and thanks for joining us today.
Awesome, thank you.
And thank you for joining us on today's edition of Trojan Talk. And that's the week that was. To find out what's happening on a daily basis, you can tune into Troy TrojanVision News at 5, 6:30, and 10:30 Monday through Friday, or follow us on Twitter at Troy TV News. Also, feel free to like our Troy TrojanVision News fan page on Facebook to see online content from Troy TrojanVision News. Until next time, have a good week.